Bless Online. Is it $40 in the trash for that early access? Well, most would say it's $40 in the trash. But anyways, let me go ahead and show you guys a bunch of stuff. A lot of you guys were asking during the live stream. I'm going to answer all your questions. First off, let me show you something that's been broken in like multiple versions of the game. That it's still not fixed. Dude, I can 180 shoot the arrow. Oh my gosh, Archer for tier 1, boys. Tier 1 PvP indeed. But anyways, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about and answer a lot of your guys' questions in here. And while I was live streaming, by the way, the background music is not music from the game. It's actually from Sonic Adventure 2. I wish this game had a sick soundtrack like Sonic Adventure 2, but I'm here to answer a lot of you guys' questions. While I was live streaming the game yesterday, a lot of you guys came in, yo, is this game good? Is it worth it? Are you going to be streaming the game in the future? And the answer is hell no. I'm never touching this game again. In fact, I already tried 7 then returned that game because the game it doesn't offer anything new, and that's the biggest like concern for this game. Like I went in not expecting like this game to have anything game-breakingly new, but I expected the game to function properly, which it doesn't. The game feels like one of those mobile games where it auto-plays for you. It's like, go over here, do this. Hit the auto-run key, go over here and do this. Straight up lazy effort. Wow, dude, was that game demonetized? But anyways, now you guys can see like the gameplay. As far as like what this game offers that is new, right? It basically has this like chain system where you can actually kind of swap your stances, and that kind of gives you essentially a new skill bar. If you've played Guildwars 2, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But there's also this thing where you can combo skills. If you've played it Ion or Aeon, when you use one skill, it can combo into something else. It can combo into something else if that lands. Now you can't continue your combos in this game via hitting another target. So if you go chain combo 1 to 2 and that target instead, you can't chain combo 3 onto another target. But we're checking out the shop right now. None of the outfits make your character to look like you know, a Twitch IRL section grill, which is unfortunate. I wanted to make my character look very demonetized is the word. But there's really no options for that. But to answer the main question that a lot of people had a concern for, is the game pay to win? Let me go ahead and actually swap over to something over here that's going to basically showcase that off. So the market section, I'll link all my sources down below, but basically as far as is the game pay to win, we're going to answer this question right now. As far as what you can get in the game, so, oh, by the way, this game is $40, but it's going to come out as a $30 game in like a day. So if you want to save yourself 10 bucks and you still want to buy this, even though this is going to be basically a super negative review of the game. But anyways, you pay for the game, and then you have these microtransactions, and there's also a VIP thing. So not only is there like a VIP option, but you can buy, you know, individual things. So you can get extra XP, gold, you know, you can get mount food, which you definitely actually need in the game because mounts get tired, lazy horses in the game. But for me, like, I can kind of like see where some people would say this is pay to win, but I also see the argument of, well, eventually you're going to hit max level anyways. But there's also other things where you can list stuff for cheaper, you can repair, like, you can get extra, like, resource gathering tools. Like that, I can see both sides of the argument. But the thing that I really hate with this game, now keep in mind, this game, there's no PvE servers. It's basically all PvP. If you're on, like, the other side, you can actually engage in combat, which there are some quests where you actually have to go onto the other side to fight for basically these little, like, the quest is like gather herbs. Anyways, important thing here. There's a peace pledge, which I think is so stupid that you can pay real money and you can make it so it prevents you from getting attacked by hostile players. You know, if I'm playing a PvP game and I see a low-level person, of course I'm going to go over there and just absolutely destroy them, because that's just kind of how, like, these games are in general. Or even if the guy is, like, the same level, I'm interested in fighting him. That was like a big reason why I wanted to even check out this game in the first place. But you can buy this peace pledge, so it's like for 10 minutes they can't attack you. Like that, to me, that's dumb. I don't like that, especially since it's a cash shop item. Maybe if it was like something that you'd have to like build or something. The fact that you can just not engage in PvP by buying something, in my personal opinion, is dumb. But there's a lot of memes going around right now. It's like players that quit Black Desert Online right now. They're going right back to it because, I mean, for me, like, I enjoy a lot of different, like, games from time to time. I've dipped into BDO. I really like the character creation in that game, which is something I want to talk about. There's also really poor translations in this game. You guys can see there's a Reddit post on this. I mean, some of the stuff is just really strange. This one was posted by the Lazy Peon. It says, growth effects, an additional 10% increase in damage taken. Totally makes sense there, but like the translation is straight up like Google Translate. I don't know what they're doing, even during like the early stages of the game. I mean, early like tutorial stages. The the translation is just, I don't know what they were doing. Like, by the way, this game, not to throw any shade to the company, because I was actually invited to their emissary program, which is basically like a sponsored-ish streamer, but I just didn't enjoy the game as much as I wanted to, by the way. Like, I was really looking forward to just another MMO, just in general. But I also was thinking about just using it for a character creation, like a simulator, right? These are my characters in Black Desert Online. I feel like I can make pretty good-looking characters, alright? I tried for so long, and like I ended up with this, and I just started going, you know what, screw it, we're gonna go in. I didn't spend, like, you know, hours, because, like, dude, with Black Desert Online, I can sit there for hours to perfect my waifu, alright? Now, if you're interested in just buying this game for character creation, Black Desert Online, much better experience. But it is something that, you know, a lot of people will say Black Desert Online is still better than the game. For me personally, I would agree with them, but, you know, Black Desert isn't, you know, perfect by any means. But I kind of want to talk a little bit more about the combat in this game, because this game has failed in multiple regions, and they decided to finally bring it over to NA. And we're skipping things really fast here, just so I can show you guys the combat of this other class. Now, again, a real broken mechanic in any like open world PvP game is being able to shoot things that you should not be able to because you don't have line of sight, which is, I mean, you guys already saw in the very beginning, which is something that definitely should have been worked around, you know, in the earlier stages of the game. And it just feels like this port over is just lazy, and like the combat, if you guys could only play, and by the way, when this is stuttering, it's not my computer. Everyone's been complaining. I have 32 gigs of RAM, I have a GTX 1080, I have an i7 7700. There's no way that my computer can't handle this game. This game is old, by the way. Optimization could be fixed in the future. Let me go over some of the other complaints that people are complaining about. So, some people complaining about the game lagging when you're opening up like the cash shop or any of the menus in general. It's just really laggy. Obviously, these things can be fixed, and that's not intentional with the game. Like, those optimization issues, the login queues, the game crashing, those kinds of things, well, I think that they are valid complaints for the game. They aren't deal breakers for me because it's an early access, okay? Like, those kinds of things, I can understand they can iron those things out in the future. But as far as the combat goes, after they've already failed in multiple regions, and then they revamped up the combat, which I feel like is still 2 out of 10, it just feels like a game that's super outdated. The biggest way that I can stress this is just go watch someone on Twitch, just watch them play at a much higher level. I'm just showing like the earlier stages of the game, because I end up going through more of the menus here, and showcasing off like the early stages of the game, because that's important. I mean, if you don't have fun in the very beginnings of the game, I'm going to fast forward this a little bit, just because there's really very little here that this game offers that you couldn't get from another game. And a lot of the questing in this game is go here, do this. It just doesn't feel engaging. If any of you guys have played Guild Wars 2 or Guild Wars 1, like, it feels way more engaged, because you get to see like a cinematic, and it kind of guides you through it just much better. I don't know how else to say it other than it just feels like it's busy work. It feels like one of those mobile games where you're like, okay, go here, do this. It's just, I don't know how else to explain it other than it just feels like busy work, and especially with the very beginnings of the game. Let me fast forward to, like, we go to like a spider dungeon, and let me go. I want to go to the spider dungeon. This is like right here. We end up killing some like kind of little boss here. Okay, we're going over here, so you guys can see the combat. So this is the Berserker class, which is wielding a two-handed axe. Like I said, all these little hiccups and stuff, that's like naturally in the game. When you go into a cutscene, it feels like the game is stuttering, but that's just how the game is. And how the combat works is you'll attack with one ability, and then you can like hold down some of the abilities, and then you get to go for like a larger attack. With the archer, I played a few of the classes. Like, the archer will like draw back their bow and then go for more of a power swing, but overall, like, it just doesn't feel very next gen. I mean, the game is not very new, and that definitely shows, which again is kind of a concern that I had, because, well, I felt like they were going to revamp up the combat to make it more engaged, and it doesn't offer that. And like I said, if you guys are seeing this, like, you'll know what I mean, or if you guys have played it or just watch anyone stream, they've probably complained about this too. There's just nothing new that this game offers, and like I said before, I already mentioned this, but I knew that going in, but I expected things to just run smooth and it just to feel good, and like it just feels awkward. It just feels like the game like has like a delay on when you're chaining your combos. If you guys have played Ion, when you go for one move, you can you press the button again. It just like it feels like there's an attack, and then you have to wait, and then it's like attack again. Whereas other games, when you have these chain combos, it can animation cancel, which is a huge deal for me. You guys know I'm a big fan of animation canceling in games. This game, it just like doesn't animation cancel when you're going to the next one, so it just feels slow. Oh, by the way, there's no auto attack. As far as like the combat system, there is technically tab targeting, and there's also like free attack, which is like you kind of swing in a sense. It's something that Berserker has. So that's something that they probably will improve on in the future, but overall, I don't think that I can give this game another chance. And if it goes free to play, maybe I'll check it out because I already refunded this game, just like a lot of other people. And it's not really just about like getting my $40 back and buying like another game, or you know, buying some more food. But it's more so that like I don't really want to support development of this game when they already failed multiple times. And this is like their like, I want to say last chance, but there was a decent amount of people in this game when I was checking it out. But overall, it's just too clunky. So the next thing I want to answer is, you know, again, I already kind of answered in the beginning, but is this game worth $4? Hell no, okay? I would recommend buying another game. If you want something that's just a new game, and you're like, I don't really care, it doesn't need to add anything new, I still think that there's better options here. But because it's new, obviously there's going to be people checking it out. I feel like the game will die really, really fast as far as Twitch goes. It will not be a top 5 game on Twitch. It's just because it's been so long since anyone, you know, has played like a new MMO, and I think that this kind of was the answer to it. Well, at least a lot of people, including myself, felt like this was going to be a really cool MMO because, you know, they've worked on it for so long, it's filled in multiple regions, and the game looks pretty decent. Okay, that's not one thing that I'll give it good credit to. The game doesn't look bad at all. The game looks pretty nice, but it's not like Black Desert quality. And Black Desert definitely feels like it's a next-gen MMO, whereas this, it just feels too old. But anyways, so for those of you guys that are looking for an MMO or just a new game that kind of suits like this whole, like, you know, you're going through a progression and getting stuff. Recent games that have came out, Closers, I think that this is a little bit better. Oh, by the way, this game is free. That's why I'm just mentioning this game. There's also Kritika. This game is not necessarily new, but I really like this game. They actually did like an update recently. But I like this game, and also, like I mentioned before, if you're looking for a character creation simulator, which, you know, I honestly would have just been perfectly fine if the character creation was amazing. We could just sit there and make waifus and just make memes in the game, which is something I like to do a lot when I stream Black Desert. Sometimes I'll spend hours just creating characters, because like I said, I like to get my characters what I consider like perfect, or like near perfect, okay? This game, like the character creation option, it definitely shows that it's a little bit of an older game. But the biggest game that I can give you as recommendation, now this game is free, but there is something that you can buy as an expansion. This is Guildwars 2. I did a video like a while back on this. If you guys want to check it out, I'll also leave it down below. I'll link Closers and Kritika. They're all, Black Desert does cost money too. It's only 10 bucks, so it's pretty cheap. I recommend not spending your $40 on, gosh, what is this game called? Bless Online. It's not worth it. Again, this is basically the biggest question that I had asked again over and over while I was streaming, because a lot of people were interested in checking it out. I'm going to link all the games. Keep in mind, Guildwars is free, but in order to get the expansions, you will have to pay money. But the game feels so much more smooth. If you want a game that's going to offer the ability to swap in between weapons, and it's just a much more better experience. I just don't know how they released this game, and after it already failed multiple times, I can see why it failed. But then after they spent so much time on like revamping it to release an NA and it's still bad, I don't know what you do with that time, man. I wish this game the best of luck in the combat to make it a lot better in the future, but also to address the pay to win, even if you consider the game not pay to win right now, I mean, you guys know how it is with this game. Guys, there's not going to be supply drops in our game. 2 months later, yo, supply drops are here, boys, now that you've bought the game. Oh, by the way, get the VIP pass, and like, you know how it is with games. But anyways, those are my thoughts on it. You guys can let me know your thoughts. Hopefully I saved you guys $40. If I did, drop a like on it, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button to see not Bless Online content, but when Moscow Art comes out, we'll definitely be playing that, and, subscribe for more other gaming content, and I am signing out.